Oh my goodness. Yes, let's go live now. Hello everyone. Welcome to Knowledge is Power podcast, live on Facebook and YouTube. And I'm just tickled to death today, this evening. Just got to thinking about something about those Cowboys fans, and wow, man, the Browns. I know it got to hurt. How can you lose to the Browns?
You just being messy right now. You
I'm
just
not being
really
messy.
being
I'm
messy.
being messy. I'm being messy, but I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. You know, my little teammate ain't won a game. We 0-4, but god damn, excuse me, we not playing the Browns. We didn't lose to the Browns. I think. Hey, welcome everybody again to the Knowledge is Power Podcast Live. And where this platform is to share important information by educating Southeast Texas African American communities with valuable info on health, education, local politics, business, and personal financing. And I'm just tickled to death about this. Oh my goodness!
Let them make it.
Hey, let me say hello to let me say hello to some of our early visitors here. We've got on the comment as Sammy Spiller. Oh,
Oh yeah, you messing with people.
say hello, Sammy. I know it hurts, brother. I know it hurts. Terry Roy, how you doing, guy? I thank you for visiting us on Knowledge is Power podcast tonight. We also have our special guest, Ms. Jevonne Pollard, who's running for Constable Precinct 1 for Jefferson County. And in the first few minutes, we're kind of go with notations of things that is going on around the city that you want to make you aware of, and that is the Jefferson County Democratic headquarters at 2211 Calder Street, right here in Beaumont, is now open Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays from 2 to 6. And you want buttons. They have buttons. We've got yard signs for all the candidates. Also, the Biden and Harris yard signs will be in
After October the 7th.
October the 7th. October the 7th. If you want the yard sign, you can go by the Jefferson County Democratic headquarters at 2211 Calder Street, people. They are open 2 to 6. Again, from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday from 2 to 6 p.m. And we were just talking backstage before I thought about those Cowboys. But anyway, we was talking backstage about the ticket.
Tomorrow is the last day. It's an early
voter registration, yeah, and it ends tomorrow, October the 5th. If you have not registered or have anyone register to vote, please, you can register by tomorrow. October the 5th is the last day. Tomorrow is Monday, October the 5th. Last day for registration to vote. And the ticket, the ballot ticket that we're going to be voting with. And let me make sure you understand that we want you to vote all the way down the ballot. Do not do a one straight ticket voting. Don't punch one time. We want you to go all the way down the ballot, and we're going to vote Democrat straight down, right? Okay, great.
Right.
Good. And also, I want to. Oh, I guess my co-host LaDonna Sherwood. Hello, let everybody say hello, LaDonna. Okay. Also, I want to introduce you to and make sure you understand that people that the candidates that has been on the show, and I always say I will always promote them. And if those who we have not missed, we don't want to be biased about it or anything like that. I like to have some of you put off the candidates that's running. I don't have contact information on you, but I like to invite you to the show for one show so that you can expose yourself and give out your platform because, we're behind everyone that's in the race. So make sure you do that if you can. I can be reached at, I'll put my information down the bottom, or you can comment in the comment box and I'll reach out to you. Okay?
One
All
more
right.
thing before
Yeah, yeah.
and we also are looking for poll workers. We are looking for volunteers to work the campaigns and work the polls. You can volunteer at the Jefferson County Democratic headquarters.
Yes, yes. I was by there yesterday, and the Democrat headquarters really looks It's functional now. It looks like a real headquarters.
Headquarters.
People are working. People on phones and action. It's just it's alive, and that's what I had visioned that a Democrat headquarters should look like. Not when you pass by and it's closed.
Right. Super
And
excited
nothing,
about
yeah. I
that.
mean,
And
it's
we
nothing
know that
going on.
early voting is October the 13th
And
to
I've got to
30th.
yes, and I've got to also compliment um, the chair,
Joseph.
Joseph. Yeah, Joseph. I went blank for a second. How did that? He has really got those volunteers, and they are really, really doing their thing at the Democratic headquarters. If you just want to stop by and visit, if you just want to volunteer, that just answer the phone for 1 hour.
Right.
Please just stop in and ask what you can do. It's something that you can do when you go by there. Let me let you visit some of the candidates that has been on the show, and let them. I want to kind of introduce you to some of the candidates, and let me just start at local. And let me start local in Port Arthur for the city council candidates, the ones I do have. And please, again, and also, guys, I mean, those candidates in Port Arthur that is running for city council and positions there, please contact me. My number is 409 or you can reach me on my email at tonyrenfro@msn.com. I'd like to hear from you. I'd like to add you to our show, and we'll put gather all of you on one show, and let's go at it. And we're going to have and City Council District 4 is elect Kenneth W. Marks. He's running for that position, and please um, go to the polls and vote. Support these people who's running your one that you're interested in, that you know that would do a job for you. Also in precinct one, I'm sorry, District 1 City Council, we've got candidate Ingrid West Holmes. She's running in the District 1 for District 1 seat. And uh, excuse me, Reverend Donna Ray Frank is running for District 8, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, District 8. So at large. So those are candidates out of Port Arthur that has been on the show, and we're going to support them and whoever. And so we're not voting in this, right? Okay. So yeah, that's not our cover. That's not our cup.
Right. That's
Right.
PA.
Yeah. So please support your favorite candidates, and these are ones that we'd like to you to support. So, and we're going to go to since we're going to go Jefferson County local, and we're going to have a write-in, and that's going to be write-in candidate Mary uh, Parkinson.
Mhm.
And yeah, and when I say Mary Parkinson, this is how you're going to have to vote for Mary by placing your um, um,
Right in.
writing it in, and you're going to write in for Jefferson County Precinct 1 County Commissioner, and you're going to write in Mary, Mari. Early voting start October 13th, people. That's 1 week away from here. We want you at the polls. That's next Tuesday. And election day is November 3rd. So early voting from October the 13th to the 30th. We want you at the polls to vote. Okay, and I've got Adrian Bell. She's got to wait a minute. I want to take this banner down for a second so I can see, so you can see the screen. There we go. Adrian Bell is running for U.S. Congress, Democrat, District 14. I like you. We're supporting Adrian, and Adrian is locally from here, and she's a school teacher here, and we're going to support her as well. Let me go here, and let's bring on another one. Let's see. Here we have here. Re-elect Sheriff Zena Stevens. She's running for a re-election for sheriff for Jefferson County, and of course we're going to support Zena, and Jay Stutterberg, who's running for Texas Senate District 4. We've got to get these people in here, people. We've got to straighten up the Southeast Texas so we can have someone at the table for us. Okay. And again, Joe Desater is running for Texas State Representative in our area here, and that's who we are all going to support, right?
Right.
Yes,
Absolutely.
yes, and this is how it's got to roll with us, and so please do what you can to support these candidates. So let me go back here. Let me take this.
We're gonna vote like our life depends on it.
Right now,
like it matters.
That's right. That's right. Now, my question is: make sure when you're going in to vote for Marinette Parkinson, please write it in Mary, Mary. Now, you have anything before we bring our guests on?
No, we're ready to rock and roll.
Roll with our guests. All right. Tonight, people, let's see here. Do I have anything special for our guests here? Let's see here. Hello, everybody. Hey, with our guests. Come on here on the screen here. Come on this screen here. Get on here. Get on in here. All right. Re-elect Constable Jevonne J.C. Pollard for Precinct 1. Hi.
Right? No, not yet. Where am I?
Get on the screen, girl. Get on here.
Too much. Okay, here we go.
Get on here. Get on here the screen so we can talk to you for a minute.
You didn't tell me you were gonna run that trailer.
That was his surprise.
Y'all funny.
Yeah, I'm learning how to work this technology. Y'all give me another 6 months. I'll be on top of some stuff here. I have everybody flying on the screen and in and out, fading and all that kind of stuff here. Jevonne, good to have you, my love. Good to have you.
It's good to be here.
Yeah.
Not viewed, as they say.
Man, I am so ready. I am so ready to vote.
Yes.
I am ready to vote.
Yeah. Everybody should be ready.
Yes, I'm gonna be the first one in line to vote. I want to make sure my vote count. That's right. Jevonne Pollard, Constable Jevonne Pollard, everybody. She's running for Constable Precinct 1 in the Jefferson County. Glad to have you, and let's get started. Get Jevonne.
Yeah.
Did you see them Cowboys today?
You know what?
I'm sorry. I'm gonna lose all my viewers tonight.
And I'm gonna lose my vote.
That's not a part of the topic, sir.
I know. Let's get on topic.
Look, okay. I got my cowgirl hat on, so that's just what I'm gonna go with right now. Okay.
All right, I know.
Now, November the 4th, we can talk about it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna mess with my. I might lose all my viewers here that mess with them Cowboys.
I need to be neutral.
I know. And I know, but besides those slugs, I mean, I'm ready to vote. I'm ready to get out there, and I might get a head start. I'm like, get out there and Voting start next Tuesday, the 13th. I might get out there on Sundays to get my lawn chair like I'm
I think you,
like
yeah.
I'm sitting in front of Walmart on Black Friday.
It's that important though, right? So it's
Yes,
that
it is.
important. So I don't think
Yes.
that'd be an issue at all. That'd be an
Yes.
awesome podcast. You set up outside somewhere and yeah.
Yeah,
Countdown to the polls open.
we're going to be out there. We're going to be there Tuesday with Knowledge is Power podcast, new equipment. Where we go on the scene and we're going to visit. And we're going to be out live. So,
Okay.
so we're going to be live at the polls.
But did you know you was gonna be live at the polls? Is he
I kind of had a little knowledge of it, but I didn't know we were going to be camping and all of that.
We're gonna be live at the polls. We're gonna. I want to visit people, talk, and I want them out there. I'm pumped. You know,
Yeah.
I took a vacation that week just
Uh-oh.
just to be able to be on the scene.
Miss LaDonna, you took vacation too? Are you ready?
No, she vacation every day.
Well, you know, when you're a boss, then you can kind of do that.
Exactly right. That's exactly right.
Hey, Jevonne. Hey,
Yes.
you know, I tell you, young people that want to run for office, and I tell them all the time, before you run for office, people remember, you've got to have some type of leadership skills.
Okay.
And a purpose, and because running for office is totally different, and you've got people working under you,
Right.
and so you got to have discipline as well. So tell me a little bit about your experience as a constable for Jefferson County. That because you won the last. This is your second term, right?
Correct. So
Right.
I was able and fortunate enough to get this position. I won a duly put on election about 2 years ago when the Honorable Earl White vacated his seat to go be the first Black fire chief of Beaumont. And so when he vacated that position, it left of course a vacancy. They had to have an election. And so I was able to put my name on the ballot as the Democratic candidate at that time in 2018. I was elected, and I've been serving as the constable ever since. So I was able to finish his term, and by being duly elected in that election, I was able to be the first woman to ever be elected as constable in Jefferson County. And then, of course, it was a double honor because I ended up being the first Black woman as well to be elected to the ranks of constable of Jefferson County. I started my law enforcement career in 2001 with Beaumont PD, spent almost 2 years there, left, had kids. After my kids were old enough to tell me what was going on and in daycare, I entered back into the workforce, went to Chambers County for 4 years, worked Chambers County on patrol for 4 years, wanted to be closer to my kids as they got older to get into sports and after school activities. So I came to Jefferson County. I came to the constable's office under the Honorable Eddie Collins, worked in his office for about 5.5, 6 years. And then I worked under the Honorable Chris Bates for the 2 years before I was elected. So I've enjoyed my time as a deputy constable. And then once I was elected as constable, you're right. It's a whole nother ball game, a whole different world. And it's been challenging, but it's been exciting. It's been fun. We've done a lot of great stuff in the office, and I'm sure some of that stuff I'll have a chance to talk about and we'll get to as we, continue on with this interview. But I'm excited to be here. I love the podcast. I love what it's about because especially, unfortunately, for us, we don't have the knowledge of things that we should have. And that holds us back in certain areas. And so for you and LaDonna to put on this type of podcast on a weekly basis is very, very good because any opportunity we can to advance our people, especially in Jefferson County, is an opportunity that we should absolutely tap into and take. So thank you all for having me.
You're welcome, LaDonna.
If you could please, for the people that kind of don't know what a constable does, maybe you can kind of just give us a little background about what do constables do exactly. That might help us. We need some knowledge.
That's probably the top question I get. What does a constable do? But people, you'd be surprised. We deal with people all the time. They just don't. I guess they don't put it together that
Right.
it's us. But whenever you're dealing with things like small claims, if you're suing somebody in a car wreck, small claims wise, if you're suing a carpenter that you felt like didn't do a good job on your house, if you're suing your brother because he took your lawnmower and he won't give it back, or if you're suing for divorce, if you're suing for child custody, if you're suing for child support, we are the ones that take care of what is called the civil process, and that is the civil side of law. We are the bailiff for the JP courts. Our two principal jobs are to serve the process and to bailiff the JP courts. And so that's what constables' constitutional duties are. And the civil process, like I said, is dealing with CPS papers as far as child custody, whether we have to go out and remove a child, taking them from one parent and putting them with, another parent. Again, child custody paperwork, this child support paperwork on both sides, on the custodial parent and on the non-custodial parent. The divorce decrees, we serve those. So there's a lot of
Can I
things.
ask you a question?
Yes.
When you say serve the papers, let's say, so do y'all handle the portion where maybe I need a civil standby because I'm getting ready to transfer my kid and we normally can't amicably deliver the child from one place to another. Is that y'all?
So in some counties it is, in Jefferson County it is not. Jefferson County, you can pretty much call the department where you are and they'll do the civil standby.
Okay.
Now we do offer a civil standby, but it's not the little 5-10 minute exchange like you're talking about. It's where you have your furniture in the house and you've gotten a divorce, but the judge has given you a decree to go and get your furniture. Well, we'll go and we'll do what is called a writ of a attachment, and we'll go and we'll stand by while you get your things. And so it's a little bit different, but what
Okay,
you're
gotcha.
talking about, the PD does.
Okay, now let me ask you one more question. What about the people that do evictions? Is that you guys?
Yes.
Okay,
We do
go
the
ahead. I'm
evictions.
sorry.
So that's another part of what we do. Uh, Residential is eviction. If it's commercial, it's called usually a lockout. But we handle those, and we go from, we don't do the 3-day notice. That's incumbent upon the landlord to do the 3-day notice. But after you go to the JP and they issue the citation comes to us, and we serve the citation. Then after you've gone to court and the judge has awarded whoever the judgment, then if you're the landlord, you can petition for what's called the writ of possession, and that's the actual moving out process. And so we are there to do the actual moving out process as well.
Hey, Jevonne, tell me a little. Now what area that Precinct 1 covers?
Sure. Precinct 1 is the largest precinct in Jefferson County. It covers 2/3 of Beaumont. So when you're going towards Hardin County, it's at the Hardin County line on 69 and on 105. When you're going up 90, it's Meeker Road on the north side. It's South Pine Island Road on the south side. Then as you're coming down 90, of course, it's going to be on the north-hand side of 90 is all me. Now, when you get downtown, there's pieces of it here and there. It's kind of wanky a little bit how the maps are drawn, but parts of downtown. The easiest way for me to tell people to understand is pretty much everything but the south end of Beaumont, and again to Meeker and South Pine Island is in Hardin County line is mine.
Now, excuse me, I'm sorry. So now you've been in office for one term and you're going to your second term. So I'm sure you want to continue to be more innovative in your office. So what is your other plans for your office?
Now see,
Don't give your game plan away. Just
we I've enjoyed the fact that I've been able to bring some things to the county that's helped my constituents so far. Our judgment compliance unit we enacted that. And, I can't take the credit. I green lighted it, but I'm nothing without my team. And so the judgment compliance unit was birthed from my captain, Captain James Locke. And, what we decided to do was get deputies that's all they focus on, is helping people who win judgments, being able to collect. And so we did that back in November, December of 2019. And so far this year, we are close to about $250,000 that we've been able to help our constituents recoup, just because we made this specialized unit that all they do is focus on, writs, and going out and serving those just by themselves. And then the other deputies that I have in my office are able to work on the other papers and the other process and bailiff the courts. But I'm super excited because, it's exciting when you have constituents tell you, we've been trying and trying and trying. We won this lawsuit 6 months ago or 7 months ago, but the people didn't want to pay. And so when they come back to you and you're able to apply your judgment compliance unit to that writ, and you're able to get that constituent, the money that was awarded to them, or some of the money, or anything, it's very rewarding.
LaDonna.
Yes. Now, since that you've been in this position, can you tell me about some of the challenges that you feel like the constable your job is facing right now, that you're looking towards the future of rectifying or ginning up some sort of, do you have any challenges that you're facing?
Oh yeah. A lot of people feel like regionally and statewide that constables aren't necessary. Nobody really knows what we are. Nobody really knows what we do. So for me, the challenge has been from the jump to spread the constable gospel, to get people to understand how valuable the constable's office is, especially when you look at the constable's office versus private process. Private process, it's a business, and it's somebody that has their company, and they're doing the same job, but they can't do everything because some things require a Texas peace officer to do, but they do a lot of the same things. And so for us, when we come at it from an elected position, a constable's office position, we're in it for the people. We're not money motivated. We don't see that money. We don't see the fees that we collect in order to serve the process. For us, we're motivated to help the constituent, versus a private process company is, at the end of the day, profits and margins, right, and motivated by money. So for me, the challenge is to get people to understand the importance of the constable's office, the importance of the role that we play in the community, and how, we are a vital part of a good, growing, thriving community. We're also a part of county law enforcement. Constable's offices were the first police in Texas, even before Texas was a state. When it was the Austin colonies, you had the constable's office. The derivative cops comes from constables on patrol. We were back, there in 1836. So constables has a very rich history in Texas. And so to be able to tell people about the history of the constable's office, and to be able to explain to people, what it is we do and why we do it, that has been the biggest challenge. Even here recently, this week, people didn't think that my race was important enough to be, a part of a forum. They didn't include the constable's race, and I take that personally, because people need to understand how important constables are to local government, especially in Texas. So that's the biggest challenge, is getting people to understand what a constable is, why we exist, how we benefit the community, how we benefit our constituents, and just pretty much spreading the constable gospel has been probably the biggest challenge. And even going forward will be something I'll have to deal with.
Yeah, I didn't. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was just about to say I didn't know it. I didn't know that about the constable's office. And I read a lot. I'm into history. Like a little historian. I like to read and study on history. But I did not know that since 1836 that it all started by the constable's office.
It was us. Tomlinson was the first one, and it was us. It was constables and then commissioners, and then after the constables, then the sheriff's office came into being. But when it was the Austin colonies, it was constables.
Wow.
Now, I have want to switch gears here because history is great, but we know that history is kind of a predictor of our future. So, with that being said, you are Port law enforcement, given the current climate of current events. How do you feel about being in law enforcement and being African American? And what are your thoughts on the way that people are perceiving law enforcement and the way that they're kind of their attitude towards what's happening with the local events with Breonna Taylor and George Floyd, and the list goes on?
I feel encouraged. I feel like it's incumbent on it's incumbent upon people like me, like Constable Bates, Constable Collins, Constable Baker, Sheriff Stevens, people that look like the people that are going through this situation and where the hardship is right now. It's incumbent on us to be the change, right? So we have these platforms, we have these positions, and it's incumbent on us to make sure that our officers are professional. It's incumbent upon us to make sure that our officers are well trained, and that we are doing and being the example of what law enforcement should be. Now, as a Black female who has a Black husband and a Black son, I deal with it on a daily basis. Today we were at Crystal Beach, and my kids enjoyed the beach, and I'm just scanning and looking, and I'm being as friendly as I possibly can be, and everybody was being friendly at the same time. But you are very much aware of where you are when you're in Crystal Beach, and I will say that the Republican influence is very heavy in Crystal Beach, and everybody was friendly, but at the same time you understand the climate and you understand what's going on. And so, you have to be able to be aware, but at the same time, be an agent of change. And so for me, I'm aware of the climate. I'm doing my best to be an agent of change. I'm doing my best to make sure that my deputies contribute to the positive narrative that's going on in law enforcement. And at the same time, we talk about being our brother or sister's keeper. And if you see somebody that's getting a little bit out of control, yeah, it's not necessarily what we were used to, but we need to go ahead and change that. And we need to be more aware of our brother or sister losing their temper, on the job, and saying, hey, I got it, or hey, I'll take over from here. Law enforcement right now it's tough, but at the same time, I feel hopeful that we'll turn a corner, and I'm hopeful that we put enough people in place to get the proper change that we need that will continue to move the county and the country forward. I understand everybody's angst about law enforcement. I would tell people, please don't buy into the rhetoric of defund the police. You don't necessarily need to defund the police. What we need to do is make sure that you give people like myself, the administrators, the tools that we need to get rid of the bad apples when we come across them, because they're there and we know they're there. The problem that we have sometime is we cannot easily get rid of them. So for us, that's the kind of things that we're looking to try to rectify and change, is making it easy for us to, once they've been identified, remove them, because at that point they're just a ticking time bomb.
Now, I got one question, because you said something about defunding the police, and that just brings me to another thing that I'm kind of thinking about, which is the mental health issues that we face in the African American community, where sometimes we haven't identified these mental issues, or we don't know that somebody has a mental problem or a mental issue, and oftentimes it's not addressed until it's too late. So a part of that defund the police is cool. It's okay. I see your face. A part of that defund the police is about, getting more mental health specialists involved in what law enforcement is doing. How is your office kind of combating that, or have you encountered any of that?
So the good thing about Jefferson County, I think people need to understand, is that there is quite a few mental health officers all over Jefferson County. In the sheriff's office, Beaumont PD, Port Arthur PD, I have mental health office. I have a mental health officer in my office because it's super important. Because especially when we're going out on evictions, a lot of times we encounter people who are having an episode. I mean, you know, make no mistake about it. Being physically removed from your residence can cause you to have an episode. We had an incident about 3 weeks ago where we encountered a young lady who, you know, was exhibiting signs of having a mental health crisis. We had our mental health officer, but at the same time, we understood and we understand that Jefferson County deals with mental health patients way more than we do. So we were able to call one of the Jefferson County mental health officers. He was familiar with this individual, and he was able to calm her down and get her where she would be, you know, better served versus going to jail. And you know, that's the kind of partnership that I'm glad that we're able to enjoy here in Jefferson County, because even though we recognize the signs and we have our own mental health officer, it makes sense to have a mental health officer that has a better working, you know, relationship, as it were, or rapport with the patient, because then you can, you know, it allows you to de-escalate a situation with them to where it doesn't get confrontational or violent, and you're able to, like I said, assist them better and get them to a better situation.
I'm super proud about that. I'm excited about that. That's why you're my candidate. Go ahead.
And teamwork, you know, I tell everybody, you know, teamwork, like, you know, like, it makes the dream work. And so again, you know, and I brag on our sheriff, but our sheriff is doing a great job. And the ability for us to be able to work together between the sheriff's office and the constable's office in situations like that, it benefits Jefferson County as a whole. It benefits everybody.
Yeah.
Yes. Hey, you know, again, I'm proud of you, and I'm delighted to have you here. And I believe in supporting my candidates of my choice, and particularly um, a woman of color or person of color that is qualified and wants to be dedicated and to for that position or any position. But I always say all the time when you're running a campaign, make sure you know what this job contains. What the purpose for this job? Do you want to do it, or you just want to do it for show?
Yeah.
It's not that type of rodeo.
Right.
But also running a campaign, I had a chance to experience it, and I know what's the most important thing in running a campaign, a successful campaign, is money, money. You know, so people, if you're watching, I want you to
Yeah.
share our podcast on Knowledge Power Podcast. We're on YouTube as well. You can go to YouTube, and you can take it and share it publicly. Wise, you know. So we're all over the place. We're all over the groups. We're all over. I thought we was all over Southeast Texas, but we're all over Texas, just about, and other states. So that's how many visitors, our viewers that we are having, and I want to make sure that you get the support that you need, Ms. Pollard.
Thank you.
And I want your campaign cash app. See, there's a cash app, people. So if you're watching, if you probably strolling and passing through and you watch the show a little bit, cash app, you know, you don't have to. People think you got they got to donate hundreds and thousands of dollars. No, hey, every dollar helps.
It
From
does.
5, 10,
Yeah.
15, $20. You know, if you take just 300 people that give you $10, just imagine what you have. That's how you can buy signs, yard signs, and I mean they don't understand it costs to run a campaign.
It
So
does.
people, if you're watching Cash App, the Constable
Pollard.
Jevonne Pollard campaign, and you can cash app it at $stable Constable J Pollard. It's right on the screen. I'm gonna leave it up there for a little while so anybody eyes get attached to it. They
Nice.
get
Thank
eyes
you.
attached to it. Okay, I hope they feel sorry for you. It's okay.
No, we definitely didn't want them to feel sorry. We want to feel
let's
proud
let's
and
give them a
excited.
couple of dollars.
They want to loosen up their wallet and in the hopes of improving their
Yeah.
community, Not sorry.
We want to support our candidates, and Yvonne is one of my candidates, my favorite candidates. So yay to Constable Jevonne Pollard, running for Constable Jefferson County Constable Precinct 1.
Yes.
So with that, Yvonne, Jevonne, I don't know why she started saying Yvonne. Jevonne, I thank you so much for joining us tonight and giving us just a peep of your campaign and your position that you're holding. Okay, Mary, I see. She said for me to get together.
Y'all are fun. I've had a good time.
Oh, great. I've been trying to stay serious but it's all sometimes I have to. Well, just be yourself. Just be yourself. But anyway, we enjoy you, and we've got a little time, and I want to know if there's anyone have any questions that's watching. You may comment on it, and Miss Pollard would answer your questions. Anything you need to know. But one of the first Black African American woman to run for office and winning that office in Jefferson County is Constable Jevonne Pollard, and we're voting. Now, where are you placed on the ballot? Do you know it right now?
I've heard a few things, so I'm not exactly sure because we're supposed to go Tuesday to the barn.
Oh, it's not done yet.
Well, they're doing the trial run Tuesday at the barn, so we'll have an opportunity to see on the actual electronic ballot where we are, and then the write-in ballot or the mail ballot, it'll be different. So we'll have more of an idea come Tuesday.
Great.
And I think that most of the Democratic candidates, if this is the sample ballot, we are number 2 in each place. In each position, the Democrats are number 2. But I did have one other little thing that I wanted to bring up if we don't have any questions that came through the I kind of, as a young person, and I feel like we're in the same age group, do you have any advice as far as running a campaign that you might recommend for myself or other candidates that are running for office? I mean, he said you've won and you kind of know how it's done. Do you have any advice that you would give to up and coming candidates about campaigning?
As far as it pertains to campaigning, make sure that whoever your spouse or significant other is, that they are 100% on board, because it is absolutely the two of you running. You may think it's you running, but it's both of you all running. And you also want somebody, or you want them to kind of be your calming force and kind of your buffer, because when you campaign and you're going for something and you're putting your heart and soul into it, when you have the negative come your way, and it's going to come, you need a good sounding board to say whatever it is to, but then you make sure that you necessarily act on whatever it is you're saying, but you want that sounding board. And so if you can have 2 and 1 in your significant other, your spouse, that's the most important thing, because I would not have won my campaign initially in 2018. I wouldn't have won my campaign in the primary if it wasn't for my husband being just a calming force and just a soundboard for me to vent my frustration and then get focused and get back on my game plan. Because I'm going to tell you, running for office, and especially when you're doing it for the right reason and your heart is in it and you love serving people, and the negativity comes, it'll throw you. And because a lot of times when it does come, it comes from people close to you or that you didn't think would be negative about you. So you need to make sure you have a good, strong foundation with your support group, I guess is what I'm trying to say. If you don't have a significant other or a spouse, it needs to be somebody or a couple of people that that is a very, very strong foundation, because that's going to be what gets you through to victory, to the other side.
Thank you. Great advice.
For those who did not
Yay.
Thank you so much, Yvonne. Jevonne, thank you so much for joining us tonight. And I wish you all the best. My prayers are with you. We
Thank
hope for
y'all.
the best. And you're going to see us out there working the pole. We also have a stroll to the pole on Saturday, following Saturday. So
Okay.
we're going to be out there live from the
Awesome.
Knowledge of Power podcast. We're going to be live with everybody. So bring your lunch, folks. We're going to be out
I'll
running.
have to come find y'all. Okay.
You ain't got to find us. We're going to find you. Okay, guys. Thank you so much, Jevonne. Thank you, LaDonna. Do you have any last words, you my love?
No, I'm great. Oh.
No, for me. Oh, who? I'm sorry. For me or for LaDonna? I'm sorry. Who we talking
For
about?
either one.
I'm good.
I call it motor mouth number one. So
no, I just want to encourage everybody to go down the ballot and pick every one of our candidates. I really and truly believe we have the best candidates on the ballot, bar none. So if I can get and encourage everybody to go and find every one of our candidates down the ballot, because there is no straight ticket voting. Just go and take your time, hit every one of those candidates, and we'll see everybody at the polls.
We'll see you at the polls. Let's go vote. You already know. Thank you so much. God bless you. Thank
Good night,
you.
y'all.
All right. Bye-bye. In Georgia.